Let's just be honest, guys. It's not that you hate sales. You just hate taking sales calls with people who can't afford you or who don't want to take action yet and just waste your time. That's what you really don't like about the high ticket business model. It's not that you hate coaching the people that are on, are in the back end of your program. It's not that you hate all the other parts that come with it. It's mainly just that piece. And I know this because I have countless people come to me all the time saying, I don't want to do high ticket. I want to do recurring. I don't want to do sales calls. Or, oh my gosh, high ticket sucks. Or I'm sick of doing it because of sales calls. And I'm closing my business because I hate sales calls. I hate selling. I hate selling. It's like, no, like you don't hate selling. You love selling. Selling makes you money. You can't get rid of selling. You can't hate selling if you want to succeed in this business. But we can be honest that you just hate the parts of it where you waste a lot of time and you feel like you could be doing other things. And so you're met with a choice. If that's the case, you're met with a choice. You either say, yes, I hate it. I'm getting rid of it entirely. I'm moving on. I'm going to go do recurring and play that game. I'm going to go do like a catalog where I have a bunch of low tier products and play that game. Or you make the choice of, I'm going to build a sales team and outsource it. Now, I think both can work, and I think they work in different times and for different people in different scenarios. So I want to talk about and just kind of do pros and cons of getting rid of high ticket and going right to recurring and or doing a catalog model of having a bunch of low ticket products. Pros and cons of that, and then the pros and cons of building a sales team and how you can do it and how you can outsource it and do it that way. So let's talk about recurring and catalog. Now, when I say catalog, I'm just referring to having a bunch of digital products or physical products that all solve a different problem in your Rolodex, in your catalog. It'd be like if you were to go to an e-commerce store today, you go to the all products or shop all, you're going to be hit with a bunch of different products. They don't just have one, they have multiple products. And so that's a catalog. And then recurring is like all this hype that's going on with school and, low ticket recurring memberships and all that stuff, which is fine. I've built, one of the biggest school groups out there. It's doing 80,000 a month with cold traffic. So I've done that. I have my own program. I have over 150 people paying me a month right now. I have another one with over 584 people. So I'm doing it. I've done it. I've done the high ticket. I'm in every one of these models, catalog, recurring, high ticket. I have offers in all of these different economic models, but for different reasons. And so that's the difference. That's recurring. That's catalog. Now, here, let's start with the cons of recurring. Cons of recurring is very clear. On a digital community product, like where you're selling a community and coaching courses, the average stick rate is 3 months. And we know this because number one, like I said, I'm running multiple communities like this. Average retention of these products historically online, if you look up the data, is 3 to 4 months. And so that's just where it's at. And so let's say you're selling a product for $10 a month. That customer is only worth $30 to you. When a business looks at you, if you were to exit your company, or they're looking at your lifetime value or the potential lifetime value, they're going to say, okay, each customer is worth $30 to you. That's it. If let's say you're doing $100 a month, okay, $300. And anything above that, it's hard to get somebody to get into a recurring for anything more than that. That's why you see a lot of the, people doing recurring or school game winners. They're a lot lower than $100 a month. And so your average customer is not worth that much to you. And so the cons of recurring is, why would I create something where I can get $10 today and potentially $30 later when I can instead sell something for $30 and get that today and not have any potential or of them canceling and get $30 from every customer instead of just a few 80% of them that don't cancel, right? So that's a con of it. The economics are really crazy, and some people like to play that game, and they can if they're in a market where there's a ton of volume and they can just keep throwing people in the recurring and be like, yeah, I know people are leaving, I'm gonna keep checking them in there. And that's great. But no matter how many times you say, "Oh, I'll just make it really good," so they don't want to leave. It's like, bro, yeah. If that was possible, then everyone would just have programs full of people. But that's not the case. They're churning, they're leaving, and their numbers are dropping. And again, just go to school games, look at the members going down these people's programs. And it's not to knock them. It's just the stats. It's the numbers, and nobody can come against that. Software companies know that. They know churn is a thing. You can't fight it. It's just there. It's just a problem that you just have to accept. And if you want to play that game, you can, but you have to know the cons of that. Now, the pros, of course, recurring revenue. You don't have to start the month at zero. You have that coming in. Like I have this lower ticket community I just do for fun, and it's making me $2,000 a month recurring. And that's great. Like that's rent for this place that I'm in. That's awesome. I don't have to worry about it. It's like rent's paid. That's great. But it's not something where I'm like, I want to build my whole lifestyle and depend on this because I know there's going to be churn and I just want to play. I don't want to play that game. So those are the pros and cons of recurring. Now, pros and cons of catalog. Catalog model is where you have multiple products and you're essentially playing a game of upselling, ascension, and converting people and selling them multiple things over and over again. It's like when you go buy an e-commerce product, the same thing happens. Like one product I'm an affiliate for, which is Magic Mind. It's like a nootropic herbs that like help with your energy. Maybe I'll drop an affiliate link below. Get that Magic Mind. I don't take it as much now, but I used to a ton. And I remember I bought that product, like the juice shot. And 2 weeks later, I received an email selling me their next product, which was for sleep. And then, after that, they're selling me the next one. And so I was instantly put in this automated ascension sequence on the back end. And that's how they increase their lifetime value, make more money off every single customer. And so that's what you're doing with catalog. Now, when you're doing digital products, what that means is you're going to have to create a Rolodex of 6 to 12 products, maybe more, that all have their own upsells, that have their own order bumps. And, you don't always have to do that. But that's the best case. But you have to have a bunch of products where if someone buys one from your cold ads, let's say you break even or you lose money, you're not profiting there. You're going to have to profit on the next product you sell to them 2 weeks later or a week later. And so the pros of catalog are you don't really need sales calls. It's all evergreen, so you just create a bunch of products, and you can just keep launching it that way. The cons are you have to be good at ascension on the back end, so taking one customer from one thing and selling them to the next thing. And then the next thing you have to be good at is being able to create a bunch of products. You have to be a creator. You have to enjoy just creating a bunch of products and doing things. I remember I was building a catalog with somebody and they didn't like being creative in terms of creating digital products. And so after the first three, they were like, I don't want to do that again. And so it's fine, but you just can't do that. You have to have more than 3 products. So that's the pros and cons of that. And then of course you have the high ticket model. And the obvious pro of high ticket is it's money now, right? You're selling something for $5,000. You're getting that all front. It's going to help with like all your advertising, like your ROAS going to be much higher. You're kind of getting like a year's worth of money from a customer up front right away, which is great for cash flow in a business. That's why it's such a great model economically. But the con, of course, is high ticket selling. You have to have sales calls. You have to have a sales process. And so either you're doing it or you're building a team to do it for you. And I've done it the route where I've done it. I've done it the route where I've built a team, hired the setters. I'm the sales manager. I've done all of that. But my favorite way to do it right now is I just work with a sales agency who has the sales manager who does all the placing and setting, training, and I just handle the lead flow and they do the closing. And so if you want to know my perspective on what I would choose, like now that we know the pros and cons, my first thing I try to do is high ticket, and I bring in a sales team or a sales manager, and I have a few connections that I have where they will do all the training, all the sales managing, all the closing, and I will only handle the lead gen, which is through low ticket offers, and I have a media buyer now, and so all that really then is I build the funnel, give it to my media buyer, CMO it, leads go to sales team, they close them, I make money, and I'm just chilling. And that's great. And I don't have the stress of it. And so I don't have to like hate high ticket sales because they're all doing it for me. And so that's the way I do it. That's my best way. Now, once high ticket gets harder to sell and it's harder to get people to justify paying $5,000 in the market, my next thing I try to go to is the catalog models. And I will try to do catalog if I can. So that's my second option I try to go to. And then my last option is recurring. That's like my very last option. Doomsday, last thing I would pick if I had to. Now, again, I am running recurring models. Low ticket offers toolkit is recurring, but I do that because I'm not trying to build like my income and life source off that. It's just $15 a month. It gives you commitment to be there and to use the tools. But then I'm also, I'm not trying to do a bunch of coaching and training to try to keep you there. It's like if you leave, you're good to go. And I just launched it that way. And then I also have some communities where I've scaled them. I've done the marketing, and they are doing the coaching and consulting, and it's $80,000 a month, and it's crushing. But they are dealing with the churn. So I have that model, but it is my last choice. So I share all this so you know your options. A lot of times you think it just has to be high ticket, it just needs to be recurring. It's like no, there are other models. These are the pros and cons of them. Pick the one that you want to deal with and be okay with. But just know, like, you don't hate high ticket sales. You just hate having to talk to people who can't afford you, aren't a good fit, and that's just part of the game. That's just part of the game. You're going to deal with that, and so your choice is just screw it all together, burn it to the ground, or do what I do and just hire somebody. They come in, they do all that for me, and they get a same cut. Like they get a same cut as if I were to build a sales team, right? 20 to 25%, which is what you'd be paying your setter and closer. And sometimes there's like a little setup fee, but that's it. And so don't abandon high ticket altogether. I don't think it's the only way. I think it's the best way right now. My second choice is catalog. Recurring is last. So just know you have options. It's going to be okay. You got this. There's still money to be made out there, and there's still hope. But hey, I understand. I know how annoying it is to be on those calls. It gets tiring, but there are ways to get out and make this work. So appreciate you guys for watching this. Let me know if this is helpful in the comments below. We'll be dropping one new video every week this month. And if you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email or just join the low ticket offers toolkit below. Again, $15 a month. Shout out that recurring. Cancel in 3 months, which a lot of you guys do, but it's all good. Get what you can out of it, bounce, and reach out if you need any more support. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon.